Hey YouTube family, so I am back, and this time I am back with a story time. So this story is about my move from Colorado to Georgia. So what, 6 years? Yeah, about 6 years of flying back and forth from Georgia to Denver to see my husband. I finally moved. So I planned, look online on U-Haul to find out how much it's gonna be for me to get a little truck and then tow my car on the back, and then I would just drive with me, Nazim, and my sister. And then once I got to Georgia, I would have movers move my stuff because it's upstairs, and I wasn't about to do that. This guy, he used to date my auntie Sharon, right? Back in the day, like way back in the day. He's a he's a friend of the family. So my mom goes, we were meant to go to IKEA that morning because I was gonna go buy my bed frame and Nazim's bed frame so that I could already have it and the movers can move those things onto the truck. And so that's what I ended up doing. And my mom goes, well, Rayshawn's in town, so let's just go and go there first, and then we'll go to IKEA. Now, mind you, in June, we had already started our fast for Ramadan, right? So I'm already fasting, and I'm fine or whatnot, but it's like, don't push your limits, okay? So they're at the restaurant eating. I'm not eating. And my mom's telling him that I'm moving because, mind you, only certain people knew that I was moving. I didn't tell everybody. I'm not that type of person. That's just not me. So my mom's telling him that I'm moving finally, blase, blase. So he goes, well, how much is U-Haul going to charge you, this, that, and the third? He was like, well, I can do it for you for cheaper. And you know me, I like a deal. I coupon, I like deals, okay? So I'm like, okay. I'm fine with that. So he was like, I'll do it for half the price. Or if not, you tell me what they're going to charge you, I'll give you my rate. So I was like, okay. So I was like, well, it's going to be about $1,700. And he's like, okay, well, I'll do it for you for $5. He started at. Then it went to $7, and then he ended up at $8. That should have been my first clue, my first hint. So I'm like, okay, whatever, it's still, $800 cheaper or whatnot, So he's like, so I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I cancel my reservation for my U-Haul and the tow thing, and I go with him. So he's like, well, it's going to be a little while before you can get your stuff because I am squeezing you in. And I'm like, okay, what's a little while? Because I had already planned on putting the necessities, packing Nazim a suitcase, myself a suitcase, and the things that we would really need, whatnot in my car because I had more than enough room. So he's like, it's maybe at most going to be a week, right? At most. But he was like, really just a couple of days. So I'm like, okay. Mind you, I'm not thinking like black people talk, right? Because we're doing business. Me, Lexus, Nazim, we leave. We start on our journey to Georgia. We make it here. I settle in. I bring in the things that's in my car, upstairs, blase, blase. So my sister ends up leaving. It was like the first day of her leaving. I cried so much, but that's another time. So she leaves. She only stayed. We got here on a Saturday. She left Monday morning, early in the morning. And so I take her to the airport, and I called him. And I'm like, okay, we've made it here. This is where I live. This is my apartment number, this, that, and the third. So he goes, okay. Fast forward, right? I'm here, whatever. 4 days go by. 5 days go by. 7 days go by. 10 days go by. I think almost at our 2-week point, he finally makes it. My mom is like, yo, what's taking this dude so long? He's already came and gotten your stuff from the house. From the time he came and got the stuff from my mom's house to the time I actually got it here in Georgia, it was like 4 days, 5 days, right? So my mom is like, mind you, I'm being patient because I have clothes, I have plenty of hijabs, like, you know, I'm content. It was just making sure Nazim had enough of everything, and I knew he would because I had a washer and dryer that was being delivered, so I would be able to wash his clothes and the other little things that I needed. I could go and pick up from the store, you know. So, but my mom's like, yo, like, what is taking him so long? I was like, man, he's saying he went and picked up other jobs on his way here. He done stopped in Texas and he was in New Mexico, you know. And so she was like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. And so she was like, So I finally get my stuff. So one of the reasons I wanted to know when he was coming because I wasn't about to walk around with like $800 on me, and I'm in this apartment where I don't have any furniture at all, so there's not like I can hide the money in my apartment because the people had to come in and like do some touch-up paint, you know, or whatnot, some things that I had seen, some little things, you know, so I can't hide the money in my apartment, you know, or whatnot. So I wanted to know when he was gonna come so I could go to the bank, right? So anyways, he gets here, he's unloading my stuff, him and this other guy, right? And on my box, I have U-Haul boxes, right? And I bought stickers that say fragile, open first, living room, dining room, Nico's room, my room, like blah, blah, blah. The things that say fragile, these people are just like throwing boxes on top of other boxes. It was a nightmare. Like, I'm like gritting my teeth because I know I have these beautiful vases, things that I'm decorating my apartment with that I'm also going to be taking to our house, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, dude, you know? So I just let them finish getting everything, and I'm praying to God, like, look, hopefully my stuff is not broke. Because when he opened the truck, I could see how he just had boxes topped up, boxes on top of boxes, which is fine. But the boxes were like smashed on top of each other, so they were indented. And mind you, I packed these boxes like pretty solid, especially the ones that I knew had fragile stuff in it, my glass and stuff like that, with padding and stuff like that, so I make sure it wouldn't get broke. So he brings all my stuff in, sets it down on the floor, and I have a neighbor downstairs, so that's first off. And second of all, I have stuff, valuable, nice stuff up in here. Like, come on now, like, really? So I was just like, okay, I'll assess the damage, like, once I start opening up things. When I tell you I started opening, my first concern, I opened up everything that said fragile. Like, those were the things that I opened first. Vases broke, like beautiful vases, and I'll show you guys, like, because this is gonna be a part of like my house tour, so I'll be able to show you a picture of them or whatnot. Beautiful vases, you know what I'm saying? And I'm at this time, still at this moment, like, I'm not mad. I'm just like, okay, whatever, you know, like, it's really not that important, but money has gone down the drain, but I'm not pissed, you know, I'm not upset. So I'm looking through things as days go by, and I realized that my toaster oven is not here, Nazim's basketball hoop is not here, my crock pot that my mom sent me, which she knew about where it was at, it wasn't here, nor the whole container, none of that. So I call him and I'm like, hey, do you have these things? You know, you have to have them because they're not here, you know, or whatnot. So he's like, I don't know, I'll check this, that, and the third. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So he calls and goes, yeah, I have them. I'm like, okay, so whenever you get a chance, you know, send me those things, right? I didn't really get upset until, like, now mind you, I moved here like June. You'll see the video because that was my very first video posted on YouTube. We got here July 23rd. Yes. So I'm like, okay. He didn't finally get to my place with all of my stuff until August. Now, mind you, I said I got here in Georgia July 23rd. He didn't get here with all of my stuff until August, August the 7th. Okay? So I ended up having to do half cash, half the rest on a check because he didn't tell me when he was going to come exactly, which ended up being a Sunday. Banks are closed on Sunday. So I told him, I was like, listen, you're going to be able to take this much cash and I'll give you this much in a check, right? So I write him the check on August the 7th. He did not deposit that check until August the 31st. Or he says September the 1st, whatever one it was. It didn't clear in my account until September the 8th. Who waits that long to cash a $500 check? Not Lisa. Like, even if it's $50, I'm gonna go and cash that bad boy. Like, people be shiesty with their money and kind of stop checks and everything else. So I'm like, who waits a whole month, basically? No, a whole month, because yeah, she told me September 7th. So yeah, a whole month to cash a check. So now this is where the ghetto side of me came out. So I get a phone call. at 2:38. Yes, I remember the time to the T, okay? 2:38 a.m. Okay? That's morning time. Your niece. Huh. That's how I answer. Huh. He goes, the bank is saying that there was a return, insufficient funds or whatnot in my account, and now they trying to charge me $515 for this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay. I was like, but there ain't nothing I can do about it because it's 2:38 in the morning. So I'll have to call the bank later on today once they open, because